Welcome back to I Only Listen to 90s Music. We are back with a packed episode, so we're going to hit it pretty fast. Stacey, how you been doing, sweetheart?
I am 43, and it's hot in this room, and my ceiling fan is not working. So if y'all see me...
And when you get in your 40s, those are like life and death situations you feel like when you're in your 40s.
Like, bruh, like if I still have on this shirt by the end of this podcast... Like if I go on, like if all of a sudden I'm just in a Nike sports bra, it is what it is. All right. But I'm going to be covered. Everything that will be covered. Like it's, wait, you know what? I think I got the heat on. Keep talking, y'all. Uno momento. Like, wait a minute. I think consequences of my own actions. Hold on, like y'all keep talking. But aside from me and hot as hell, I'm fine. I'm doing well.
Scott, how you been doing, my brother?
Man, I'm chilling, man. Just enjoying 2025 so far. The first 23 days.
Like this is wild business.
It's something.
I mean, you should have known it was gonna be like that. 2024 started off crazy.
Oh, I was just telling my wife. I see Sexy Red and Bruno Mars dropping something tonight. Bruno gonna work with whoever, man.
Hey, Bruno. Hey, look, I had a bet going with somebody that we wouldn't know Sexy Red by the next summer, man. I might lose this shit.
So is Bruno like? I guess he always now he ain't over there no more.
No, I think he's kind of ambiguous. He does kind of everywhere. He's what I think Miguel wanted to be, but Miguel was too black.
Because I've been to a Bruno Mars concert, but this was before the Uptown Funk. This was like 2013.
Oh, so this is what he did when he was doing like the song about the liquor store and stuff.
Yeah, this with not beautiful girls. The flowers. I give you flowers.
That was my song, and I should have brought you flowers. That's like
the Gorilla album. I think that I don't know something.
Yeah,
one of them albums. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's from Honolulu, Hawaii. So, yeah. I mean, he's everybody's. I mean, he's from a state that was the last state brought into the Union. So, I'm assuming he's everybody's. All right, let's jump right into it. Chris Brown is suing Ample Media and Warner Bros. For 500 of them things. And I ain't talking about $500. I'm talking about them things. 500 million. Stacey's our correspondent on. So, look. The one thing you can say about Chris Brown, he has at least, regardless of what you feel about him, he gets ahead of anything talking about him early. He don't let it fester. If it's right or not, we don't know, but he gets on it. Like he don't, even if he did do it, he be on it. Like, look, I did do cocaine, but I ain't do that to that girl. Like he'll give you like, dude, you didn't have to tell me you was doing cocaine.
I was there. I was on cocaine. I did the cocaine. I did that. Okay. And yes, I shot a hole in the wall, but I didn't touch that girl.
Yeah, I was over here bullshitting.
Right. So, this lawsuit. So, $500 million lawsuit against Warner Brothers and Discovery for the docuseries that dropped last fall in like October, called it's like Chris Brown, A History of Violence is what it's called. So there's no ambiguity with that. It is like you see that title and you realize, okay, we're going to watch about Chris Brown and A History of Violence. The issue with that he takes with it is that there is a woman in the documentary. Jane Doe is how she's referred to, who previously had a lawsuit against Chris Brown for sexual assault, but that lawsuit was dropped. The lawsuit was dropped because there was not enough evidence to substantiate the claim. They knew, so in the documentary, she is on there. It's just her silhouette. She's telling her story, but she claims that he is not just a rapist, but a serial rapist. So that serial in there, that kicks it up a notch. It means it wasn't just me. There's a history of this. This is something that he goes out and does. So Chris Brown's people heard that that she was going to be on there and that she was going to say these things. They provided evidence because like this is a false claim, et cetera, pretty much what they would have done for the initial lawsuit. The information was received by Warner Brothers Discovery, and they still proceeded with the documentary. And so thus, Chris is saying, absolutely fucking not. This is defamatory, and I'm suing y'all for $500 million. Will he get $500 million? Who knows? But here's the big issue. So when it comes to defamation, essentially there's a lot that goes into it. So defamation is a little bit more than me just saying, oh, he liked to steal, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's more than that. And wait a minute, hold on, where's my let me see. Sorry, excuse me. And this is from PBS. Okay, their standards as far as what defamation is. And I felt like PBS wouldn't lie to me. You know, if I'm getting it from PBS. So for defamation, right, in general, the plaintiff who files a lawsuit asserting that a statement that was published is defamatory has to show that the statement, meaning that was read or viewed by at least one other person besides the plaintiff, that the story identified the plaintiff, so it did identify Chris Brown, and that it harmed their reputation. And it made a false statement of fact, so that the statement's incapable of being proven true or false, basically, or it's like pure opinion can be considered defamatory. And then finally, it has to at least have some level of fault. So a plaintiff who is a public official or a public figure, Chris Brown, must prove that you published the statement with actual malice. So that's where it gets tricky, because it's like you published this knowing that it was wrong. And then the other part of it is that the standard for defamation cases like that, you have to prove that they either knew it was false, or they engaged in a reckless disregard for the truth. So the issue is going to be
they did it with Cardi. She kept doing it over and over and over again, and that's where you're saying with defamation.
Yeah, so it's like, is the issue is going to be, do they have enough information to at least where the case is going to be like, do they have enough information to where at least a reasonable person would know that it's unproven, unsubstantiated, and probably untrue, and essentially proving that they acted with reckless disregard, meaning did they turn a blind eye and just to the truth, right? And unfortunately, the burden of proof is actually kind of going to be on Chris Brown to prove that these are defamatory statements. The bigger issue is that he is now going to open up an examination of his life in court. So we all know his history with other shit. So yes, okay, we're gonna say like it's the I didn't do this one thing, but they can look at other things, and so it goes into a lot. But again, they're gonna have to provide evidence as to why, essentially, the Discovery, Warner Brothers, whoever is going to have to provide evidence as to why they believed it was true after Chris's team provided evidence of the contrary. So essentially, you're saying she liked to steal. I'm saying, no, I don't. And here's proof of like anything you're trying to say about, oh, she stole this one. Look, no, here's evidence showing the opposite. I've never stolen anything. And you're like, yeah, you stole shit. I'm gonna go ahead and still say it. So that's where the problem is. So we're going to see what happens. Like I said, but the woman who is mentioned in the documentary, who speaks in the documentary, she did have a lawsuit before against Chris Brown, and it was withdrawn, essentially due to lack of evidence. And also, rape cases are hard to prove.
Mm-hmm.
It is a literally, and I can't even say even if they catch you, like if you're literally caught in the act, we've seen people walk away. But again, he's not saying I'm this amazing person. He's saying serial rapist. Now
I do a lot of dumb stuff, but I don't do
look
that.
now.
He stopped hanging with Trey Songz because he's like, look here, man. We don't do it. We don't do that.
So like, I mean, that is something to say. And again, I'm not on anybody's side of this. I don't. Like, we know Chris Brown is but Chris Brown is Chris Brown. I don't put sexual assault above any man.
Yes, I agree.
I just don't.
Now, a question for you all. We never talked about this. This is a question for you all since I was looking over this. Is Chris Brown one of the biggest what ifs in like pop R&B history? Like, of just like, what if that never had happened? Would we see a whole nother Chris Brown, period?
He'd be a movie star.
If 2009, if there's a situation with, I don't even want to call it a situation. If the abuse with Rihanna, if that assault would have never happened, never ever happened. They were the it couple. I mean, they were young. They were, I mean, Umbrella. They just got together to do that. So there was so much potential just for them together alone. And if they, I mean, who's to say they'd have been together now, right? They but you know, they may have broke up. You know, whatever. Right? They were young. But it was they looked good together. It was a good look for both of them career-wise. They were both climbing towards the top. And I think that's one of the other things with it is, and I've said this before, and I'm sorry, if it wouldn't have been Rihanna, if it had been like Sierra.
Okay.
If it had been, what was the girl that was in G Unit? Olivia. Like something like that. Like it.
Olivia's too old for that man. Olivia, I age.
But point is that it would not. I think
Brooke Valentine.
Like I think that it would not. I think that the public would not have. I hate to say it. I don't want to say they wouldn't have cared, but it was because it was Rihanna. It made the difference. It made the big difference. And then to see the pictures of her, because like even like we knew, like we had heard and everything, but to see those images of her, and again, as a pale woman, it is extremely easy to bruise. Okay, like I wake up with bruises every day, and I have no idea how I got them. So please understand, like I have scratches, stuff like that. I'm like, where the hell? Like I think my bruise on my arms, they just cleared up, but I had like several bruises on my arm, like somebody had grabbed me. Nobody's grabbed me. I haven't seen anybody like at all. So to see like all of that on her, it was just a lot. And her face is swollen. So all you're thinking is this man, like he beat her. He didn't hit her.
Yeah. Like
he didn't just hit her once. Like it wasn't like a slap and, just the handprint on. No, it was, she was beaten. And that's, Again, no excuses for anything, but to beat somebody.
Yeah. And I think it put a glass ceiling on his career.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it's only like he's still, but it's only so high Chris Brown can go for the rest of like his life. Like
for the longest, he couldn't even be any fucking where.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't go, he could not.
He pledged Grad Chapter Bloods, like
he literally was like on house arrest. Like there were award shows. Like if she was there, he couldn't be there, and she was everywhere because they're both in the fucking industry.
Yep.
Like he couldn't perform. So there's a lot that he lost. And when he did that one performance, like after Michael Jackson died, and he's did Man in the Mirror, and he cried on stage, and we let him cry back into our hearts. Okay. Mm-hmm. And however, and I've said this before. You were young, something happened. We can move, some people will move on from it. Some people won't, let you forget. But it's all about what you do next. Mm-hmm. And it's how you continue to carry yourself afterwards. I always talk about the fight me and my homeboy Dante had. Like I had a black eye, like all of that, everything. But do I call Dante a woman beater? No. Like he and I had a fight. I actually hit him first. You know what I'm saying? So
like I stole that nigga first.
Like I hit him first. Just know everybody that people that were there that tell the story. Like it's all like we laugh about it so much now. Or even like that day, like we were over it like afterwards. But since then, has Dante hit girls? Is he going around? You know, like, no, that's not, because that's not who he ever was and not who he continued to be. So again, you can come back from something, but it's all about how you continue to carry yourself. But if you continue to be violent in any ways, or the police at you, all this other stuff, like, it's hard to believe that you have changed or whatever. Like, yeah, you went to anger management and you've been to rehab and you done all this stuff. I don't know. And the other part is, I almost feel like when I saw like everybody going to his concerts and paying all that money, it was like, wait, Chris Brown still makes music? I didn't know.
He's like a underground R&B sensation, but he's not underground. It's like a weird thing. He's not underground.
He has a big fan base. Like,
but he only can go so high. He's only gonna do the Scott Trade. He ain't doing the TWA Dome.
But he ain't. But over in Africa, he just did like one of the big soccer stadiums, but it was over there though.
Right. I'm talking about in the US. He's only and look. That's no shade saying you're doing the Scott Trade. Most motherfuckers can't do the Scott Trade. So I'm not saying
what's the TWA Dome?
TWA Dome is Beyonce, 67,000.
And Taylor Swift. And
but Chris Brown was on that level to do that at one point, is what I'm saying. Rihanna can do TWA and she ain't got no music out. And I mean, I can see like a place like that. Why am I saying TWA Dome like this is
1996.
Yeah.
That's why I said, wait, the TWA
Dome. I'm sorry.
Dome.
Whatever. The Dome in the Dome St. Louis.
You might as well have said the Checker Dome or called it the Arena. And as I'm sitting here like,
the football dome.
Like,
I push myself older every day. Sleepy said the other day, he's like, nigga, you 65 at this point.
I'm sitting here and I'm like, wait a minute. Because that's like, you sound like, I sat here for a second and I'm like, wait a minute. TWA.
Nah. But I'm gonna tell you how old I am, man. You know, on the Science Center on Oakland, I still call that the new Science Center.
Because it is. Because it is the new Science Center. It is the old one across the street. It's the new Science Center. Because it is still the new one.
I'm like,
I'm cracking up. I'm like, TWA, nigga, did they fly Pan Am too? They was flying Pan Am? Like, shit.
Northwest Airlines.
Yeah, Northwest.
Or kicking at the Animal House afterwards, nigga. You out there dating.
I'm gonna meet y'all at Club Mercedes.
Right.
That City.
That is.
Since we talking about St. Louis, man, Nelly then did it. It's a real convoluted situation for a St. Louis cats. Like this is a different conversation.
He did it for the country, man.
Nelly, Snoop, Rick Ross, Soulja Boy all did stuff for the Trump inauguration. Rick Ross and Soulja Boy, I totally could see them doing that. So I really gave them a pass because I mean,
Soulja Boy said that he got the bag. And
Soulja Boy, I can see him not taking care of his money well. I can see him now own most of the publishing. I know he doesn't own most of the publishing to the Soulja Boy Tell Him song, because I think Mr. College Park is the producer of that, and he was only like 14 or 15, so I'm assuming he don't own the publishing like that on it. So therefore, he needs the money probably in general, as much as he be talking about people stealing from him. Rick Ross used to be a correctional officer, par for the course for him to be there. So I'm like that. If you told me, I wouldn't even have blinked if you had said them two. Snoop Dogg, right after we gave him so much love on this, but we did a whole 30-minute segment about him being in the Olympics. One of Stacey's most viral internet clips is talking about Snoop Dogg and how black the Olympics was with LeBron James and what was the tennis player girl? Golf. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like literally it's in the 100,000s online.
Yeah.
And this nigga does this, and I say nigga with the most nigga
with the ER.
Yeah.
With the hard ER.
With an on it.
Does that. Then Nelly. I don't understand Nelly doing it. I do have a problem with it, but he should have just not said nothing after. If he just wouldn't have said nothing, just performed and kept it moving, I would have forgot. I'd be like, man, I don't know why he did it. Maybe he got tax problems. We would have had our own conspiracy theory. We would have made up our own conspiracy theory to see why he did it. Like, man, I think
my wife just had this baby, man.
I just had a baby, man. I gotta get this money.
We would have made it up for you, Nelly. St. Louis people would have made it, and we would have propagated it out to the masses of like, man, I heard that, you know, they got another baby on the way, you know, and them other kids he got trying to get more money, and he got 3 kids in college. You'd have made up stuff to protect our own. But then he goes out and tells everybody he did it for the president, and it wasn't about the money. So, hey, we can't protect
now. Bill Gates, Donald Trump, let me in now. 25 years later, they let him.
I pull up a clip of Stephen A. Smith discussing this.
Please do, because we're going to talk about Dave. Like, go ahead.
Hold on, here we go. This is Stephen A. Smith discussing it and saying what he had to say about this.
Dude, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what the brother said to me. He wasn't there for Trump. He was there for David Sachs, who's gonna be running crypto and AI. He's going to be that crypto and AI czar for the present administration. That's who David Sachs is. David Sachs is somebody that Snoop has had a relationship with for decades. David Sachs is that cat when nobody else put their hand out offering dollars to Snoop's football league and beyond. That brother does it. That brother's ready to do it now. So we got to take all of that into consideration. Nelly threw out the money as well. He ain't trying to be political. He's an artist, and he was paid to perform, and that's exactly what he did. Don't get me started with what Soulja Boy said. He said the same exact thing. Now, he said it in a very abrasive and excessive fashion, and I thought that was unnecessary, but if that's his lingo, that's his lingo. The point is the point. He sat up there and pulled out a bag of money and said, did anybody offer me to perform? That's what they did. So we see all of that going on, and we understand what that is. But back to Snoop Dogg, because that's who I know. Back to Nelly, because that's who I know. Nelly is not a political person. Nelly doesn't get involved in the campaigns. Nelly does perform for people who will pay the right fee, etc., as an artist. And he is somebody.
All right. Let's go. What y'all got? Hold on, I'll pull it down.
So, all right. I just want to discuss the person that the Snoop is like, oh, I did this for David Sachs. So David Sachs is a South African American.
Oh, these South Africans are they mad at us for helping them break up apartheid. They mad at Chuck D, Karis One, the whole Back to Africa movement from the late 80s, early 90s, different world, anywhere that was talking about the apartheid that helped to get this jammed up. Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon 2, where he said, what he said when he was acting like he was protesting, you racist son of a bitches.
He was born to a Jewish family in Cape Town, South Africa, and immigrated to Tennessee in the United States with his family when he was 5. That's a hell of a jump. But let's keep rolling here. So yes, he has done some things. So he was the COO at PayPal at one point. Film production, actually an amazing movie that I actually really love called Thank You for Smoking. He produced and financed that. There's some what was it called? Yammer. Like he was kind of like behind there. So there's definitely some great things that he has done with his money. He's been an angel investor for a lot of companies. So angel investments, where did it go? It was, where's the ones that I wanted to mention? Like some of them were like really like, so angel investments to Affirm, Airbnb, Eventbrite, Open Door, PayPal, Postmates, Slack, SpaceX, Survey Monkey, which I've used plenty of times, Uber, Wish, but Facebook. And like, so I want to bring, like, I'm gonna say again. So we got Facebook, Slack, SpaceX, and that's Elon, right? SpaceX. So that's already, he's been an angel investor in some social media platforms. And at some point we'll talk about the importance of being able to control the media. But that's how that goes. So, but when you get into other things, so support for political campaigns, he donated $50,000 to Mitt Romney's presidential campaign in 2012, but he donated $70,000 to Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign in 2016. He was a significant booster of Republican candidates, including J.D. Vance. He was a moderator when Ron DeSantis announced his 2024 presidential campaign on Twitter Spaces. He praised DeSantis and donated $50,000 to his campaign. Later, he hosted a $10,000 a plate fundraiser for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He also hosted a campaign fundraiser for Trump at his home in June of 24, which raised around $12 million. He was a speaker at the 2024 Republican National Convention. And of course, he voted for Trump. So there's nothing about him that makes me feel like he's on my side about anything. But I guess he helped Snoop's little football team get some jerseys. At what cost? At what cost? Like,
or did he help Snoop get this?
Right now, Blige raising jersey money. You could have
Snoop could have paid that for himself. It's not like that wasn't like he built them a stadium like that. Like, oh snap, you built them. We talking about, like you said, some t-shirts. Snoop could have done that on his own.
Yeah. So miss me with the bullshit. Like, it's you.
This is one of those things that's a false equivalency. Him saying that, that's like you having a dope dealer friend and going to like, hey, meet me over at the crack house. Like, dude, you know I don't do that. You can meet me over in the Central West End and we can have drinks. I'm not meeting you at the crack house because I know what goes on there. We still boys. I'm not judging you for what you do, but I'm not meeting you where you at.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
I don't have to meet you there and be there.
It's the argument of like, well, I performed at the crypto ball. Okay. That's fine. What I will say is this, is that Michelle Obama, as always, is my best, the most amazing woman ever, because she is the only one who said, I ain't going to that shit, and stayed her ass at home. She says, when they go low, I sit my ass at home. She didn't go.
Was Obama there?
He had to go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, president.
Like, he had to go. But Michelle's like, shan't, won't. And I think so. Bill was there. I think was Hillary there?
Yeah, Hillary was there.
I wouldn't have went.
And you know, I don't know why Hillary went, to be honest with you. That was the one, like, that didn't make any sense.
Like I said during the like I said, when they at the Democratic convention, when Hillary came out, I said, Hillary better than me, because I'd have came out there cussing all you niggas out. Like, I'd have walked up and been like, you could have had a bad bitch, but look what you did. Look where we at now. Because you was worried about some emails. Ain't worried about them emails no more. Like, I'd have been walking around the stage with my
camera,
to come get me. Because I'm out there acting a fool. Like, I may have started off, welcome everyone and distinguished guest. Well,
that's why Michelle stayed home. She's like, I'm gonna stay at the crib and chill.
She said, I'm not doing fuck no. She has absolutely, she said over and over again, she's like, I do not fuck with him. And it's I think, what did she say? That essentially she's like, you put my family in harm's way because of your lies, because of things that you said. There were people that were trying to harm my family. When that shooter like actually shot at the White House, like it was a side of a wing of the property that no one was in, but the kids sometimes would be over there. And it's like what if they would have been there? Like, you, because of you. So she's like, there's no like, absolutely not. And I hope Michelle texts Obama the whole day and was like, I hope you're having fun with your little friend.
But she know he had to go. He couldn't. He couldn't.
Go.
He had to go. Like
he had to go. But then when they had Jimmy Carter, they sitting there joking. They sitting there high and kicking. And
but I know people were saying that with the Jimmy Carter thing. What if he was on some like, nigga, you still ain't shit, and they both was laughing? Like
it could have
been.
You don't know what they
like. He could have. It could have been some shake on her, but they both laughing. Like I still don't fuck with you. I don't fuck with you either. We ain't got to talk at all in this motherfucker.
Yeah,
you don't know what man. People just. Dude, have you ever been? You've been into somebody you sitting there laughing with like, but I don't fuck with you, dog.
Yeah, fake laughs. Or
Yep. I don't fuck with you, dog.
Do I? Like I'm sitting there like, do I? I think most people that I don't like know I don't like them.
No. They know you don't, but you're in a situation where you can't.
Like with a mutual, like if there's a mutual friend
or something, you like, all right.
No.
They're gonna be there.
No, because you won't even invite me. Like you'll keep me. Like you'll make sure. Like I said, there are events that I won't come back to St. Louis for because there is someone that I know will be there, and I absolutely don't know what my reaction is going to be when I see her, and because of that, I literally will not get on the plane because I'm not getting locked up in St. Louis County.
So the event, you just know the event gonna be in St. Louis County. You already know the events in St. Louis County.
I mean, wherever it's gonna be, whether it's in St. Louis County or wherever it is. What I do know is that it possibly is on site. So it's like I'm too old. I'm too old for that.
It's Tom and Jerry.
It is.
What do y'all think about Nelly though with this? Like, what is like?
He sounds like an ignorant U City nigga.
You City got a hold L, right?
Hold that L, U City. Again, hold another L.
Yeah, because y'all love to act like y'all own city state. Hold this one in y'all own city state.
You City, you see me. I see you. I do.
I don't even be around these U City people. Like, I mean, I know people from U City, but they don't. I don't know. Maybe I just don't know them like that.
They let themselves be known. You people from U City, vegans, people that do CrossFit.
Yeah.
Vegans gonna tell you they're gonna let you know.
Dallas Cowboys fans.
Dallas Cowboys fans. They're gonna let you know. You don't have to ask. They're gonna tell you. That's it. And it's like the reality is y'all niggas are Wellston adjacent. Calm down.
Page deal.
Page deal. You just a couple of blocks from being in Page deal.
Like Wellston adjacent is what you are. Okay. You could have been Kinlock. Calm down. Like you gotta no, take that L. It's I don't have his whole I'm not political. Okay. If you don't do politics will do you.
Right. Also, but he started dropping political things like you understand politics when he was doing an interview with Willie D.
If you don't do politics will do you.
Yeah.
And yeah. So it's when people say I'm not political, or I think people don't fully understand everything that is really politics and how much it affects you. And again, with the DEI stuff right now, like, we shut down all the DEI programs and didn't realize that disabled vets were affected.
Yep, and they shut down people that were getting new jobs with the VA.
Yeah. So like you like the vets who, for whatever reason, they claim they love them. They claim they love them so much. Right, like they loved you, and then they just I never thought the leopards would eat my face. Is what I'll say. That's it. And that's what they are on right now. So it's. No. And then, of course, with Nelly saying, I did it because it's an honor. It's an honor. It's about the office of the president, et cetera, et cetera. And the white folks ate that shit up. And I don't want to just say white folks, the Republicans, the conservatives, the MAGA people, they ate that up. They're like, that's right. It is about the respect of the office. Okay. I guess. Like,
nigga, you can't even say pledge of allegiance.
Like it's
something that was funny that me and Stacy talked about a lot in our text group, our chat. This Jerry Springer documentary, which was, I'm gonna start out. I just needed more from it, and we can get into the meat and potatoes of it. I just needed more. I feel like Stacy said that the production, and I think this in general, even with the new Diddy documentary. I don't know if you've seen that yet. Stacey.
I don't know if I have the mental capacity.
No. It's actually decent, but it's similar to the Jerry Springer, where it's like they ran out of production money and it was like, let's fast forward this shit. Like we just done.
Well, here's the thing though, for real, just about the Diddy documentaries, is that the story isn't over.
Right.
So you've like making a documentary right now makes no sense to me. Yeah. You should still be getting everything, but it's what. We haven't gone to court.
Now, I wonder if they're doing a part 2 to this, because somebody else is like, what about surviving R. Kelly? I was like, they were trying to set up a case for R. Kelly to be arrested. That's why it was a series.
Yeah, that actually was the nail in the coffin, was that. Yeah. This, I don't, but anyhow.
No, the Jerry Springer doc. Wow. It took me back to, I forgot that Jerry Springer was more highly rated than Oprah at one point. I forgot that.
Yeah,
I forgot that he died.
The fight started cracking.
You forgot he died?
Huh?
You forgot he died?
Totally forgot.
Yeah, he died like a couple years ago, didn't he?
Yeah, he died a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was like a couple years. I mean, how often do you think about Jerry Springer, right? Like it's
not much at all.
Right, and like it's not like you saw him everywhere. So it just kind of slipped my mind, but. It just reminds me of my grandparents laying in bed at night and watching Jerry Springer. But they would sit there and they'd have these little games that they bought, and they were like slot machines or poker games. And both of them would sit there, and each of them had a little thing and have Jerry Springer on. The downfall was that because they would watch the news and Jerry Springer, as far as they were concerned, me and my sister were doing everything that they saw on the TV. Period. Mm-hmm. Like, wait a minute, hold on. You didn't want to iron your pants? You know what? They said that on the news, that the kids now ain't ironing their pants and they wearing them low because they doing drugs. Are you on the drugs? And it'd be like, how did we get here? How do we get here? But again, these were real grandparents. They were born in the 20s. Like I had real grandpas, grandma and grandpa. So everything that they saw. And well, I saw the girl, she had a shirt on just like that on that Jerry Springer.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can't have you out here walking around with shirts like that. That just is
Is you trying to be a hoochie mama?
Yeah, just out there trying to
and they get them words, they find a little keyword like that hoochie mama.
Hoochie, yeah, look, you're trying to be a hoochie.
You're gonna be out here doing the hoochie coochie everywhere, and want to be and I'll be here being a hussy. Like, let me tell you something. When your grandma uses the term hussy, it's serious.
Now we need a prequel Jerry Springer like documentary. His life before the Jerry Springer show is even crazier.
Going like the mayor.
He was the mayor of Cincinnati.
It's insane that they don't bring that up. So the documentary literally starts with him in broadcasting and then him getting his own show. They don't mention his life prior to that whatsoever.
He was in politics for 10 years.
He was what?
He was in politics for 10 years. He was a city councilman. Then he became the mayor and everything. And then got jammed up. He had a Marion Barry. He got jammed up for having a prostitute. And then he resigned. And then they reelected him to that same seat right after that. And then he became mayor because the original mayor stepped down. So he's the mayor for like a year and a half or 2 years.
Damn.
Dude, that's a whole thing that they said he would like do stunts. Like he would like go into jail and stay in jail for a night to try to show what happens in prison reform. He would commandeer a bus and ride a bus around the city for a whole day to show that the buses aren't safe in Cincinnati. Like that's the story.
Street reporting.
Yeah, and then look, that's before the media stuff. That's what I'm saying. The prequel.
That's what I'm saying. Like they don't even bring that up. They jump right into the show, and then like how it wasn't doing that great because it was boring. I mean, during daytime talk show, Like you're just born. And then the fights. What is it? The KKK show is like they say, it's like was the turning point.
Yep.
Was that turning point. And then the fighting. And then the fact that Oprah was like, well, we don't do that shit over here on my side. She's like, I don't know what Jerry over there doing. But for them, it was like, oh, great. And then the biggest thing that we learned is that Jerry really wasn't responsible for all that shit. Like it literally was the executive producer and his production staff. It was those producers, the people who were doing the bookings and getting the people to come on, and they were the ones who brought on the bullshit. Jerry just would be like, "Oh, this is today's topic. All right, well, I'm going out there and
I'm gonna just host. I'm doing thing."
Listen, because you can even tell back in the day, he'd just be like, "Fuck it, I'm here for a check." Like it was the way he would like react. He'd be like, "Oh, to this week today, mama's messing with sons."
Like, so wait a minute, you've been sleeping with his son, and what? We have some questions.
The audience, and then here's somebody from the audience. Yeah, I got a question for her. You need to get a job first. Second, you ain't got no job because you ain't got no man. And third, you ain't got no man because you ain't got no job.
I got my man with me. Tony, stand up.
Right, like baby, stand up. This right here is my man Tony. Okay, I got him. He got me. You ain't got nobody. Okay.
Jerry.
That's the girl be sitting there taking it into like, yeah.
Like, and it's like the audience
in Chicago. Where they filming in Chicago?
At the WGN, at WGN.
Okay.
It's insane. And the other big shock was, well, I mean, one, I always felt like the fights were fake, but I didn't realize that no, they were real because the producers amped people up to do it. There was one producer who, like, apparently there was an episode, the guy didn't actually hit the other dude, like they kind of did a fake one.
But they said when they found out, they should have known that it wasn't right because they was from Boston, and that's not where they get the guests from.
That part. So where is that at? That all of their people
with the triangle. It was like a triangle.
Yes,
it's like
triangle.
It's Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, West Virginia, Southern Ohio. It was a triangle, the Jerry Triangle, they called it. Parts of Georgia, like the western part of Virginia, regular Virginia, western part of North Carolina, basically everywhere where it's hickey, or hood black folks, because it could be both of those.
Midwest and the South,
but like the hood, like I would say the country black folks more, because that triangle, it'd be black towns in these areas as well. Like it's not all white hicks.
Yeah, it's like that. The fact that the woman who, like, the producer who had the show where the guy didn't actually hit someone got fired because the man didn't hit someone. Like, no, you had to fight. And so to that point, the fact that they are encouraging people to fight, that they getting everybody drunk and they making sure to keep amping it up so that you come out there and you fight. And then you have the episode that I had no idea fucking happened.
Yes, like that one was. Why is that not? We talked about that on text. Why is that not talked about, like the Jenny Jones one, where the guy came on Jenny Jones saying,
I remember the Jenny Jones,
a crush on his neighbor, and then he came back and killed that dude. When they came back.
Right. So right now, what we're talking about on Jenny Jones back in the day, there was people were revealing that they had crushes on their friends. There was a guy who admitted to one of his friends that he had a crush on him. The guy was gay. His friend was not. Right. So on the show, the straight friend took it all in stride. He was like, all right, well, thanks, but I'm straight. However, when he left there, I'm sure people was getting on his head, people saying shit or whatever. He ends up killing the guy. Like, so the straight dude ends up killing the gay guy. And it became this huge thing. It's always talked about when they talk about talk shows and the rise of talk shows, the downfall and everything. But no one talks about this Jerry Springer episode where you had a woman who was just a regular. She was. I mean, it's weird to say she's a regular housewife. She was a regular housewife. She was a widow. She had raised her kids. She started getting on AOL online. Found this guy. Started dating him, and blah 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 blah.
Nancy Campbell is her name. Nancy Campbell is her name.
Yeah. So yeah, they end up. I think he ended up he was from Germany or something, or from overseas. He ends up meeting somebody else, and all of that. So the show was called Mistresses or Secret Mistresses or something. And the woman's Nancy. So what you said, Nancy was her name?
Nancy Campbell was her name.
Right. So Nancy's son, who's he's older, and he's if my mother would have known that was the title of the show, I know that she wouldn't have gone on that show. But while they're out there, the new wife or the new mistress or whoever the hell the other girl is, she's all up in the woman's face and is blah 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 blah. And then Nancy's he's my ex-husband. She's we were together last night. So we're getting back together. And the other woman is blah 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 blah. And then she's like, you know what? Fine, okay, just take him then. And got up and walked off. Grown woman shit. She's like, you know what? Take them, sis. Good. I'm good. I'm walking off. And so what they would do to these people, because they were usually from these rural hick towns with not a lot of money, they'd be like, well, you have to stay on the show the entire time, or we will not pay for your plane ticket back home. Mm-hmm. And so she leaves, and she's like, I don't care. I'm not doing this. You're not going to continue. I'm not going to continue to do this. I'm not going to continue to embarrass myself, my family, all of this. No, I'm not doing this. And she left. And it's right, good for her. However, what ends up happening is that the ex-husband or the other heifer ended up killing this woman. Damn. And no, it was actually she was brutally killed, but no one talks about it. But was the Jerry Springer show held responsible? No. Once it happened, all of a sudden, Jerry Springer was hosting a show, aired an episode down in Jamaica at Hedonism. He's not in the country anymore. Nobody got subpoenaed, none of that. And the show gets mentioned, but it's not the idea that no one is being held responsible for that. It bothers me a lot, that no one talks about it. I actually kind of hope that with this documentary coming out, that maybe the people make something happen, because that's bullshit.
It's a weird thing, man. Because I was like, what? Somebody got murdered? Because the second episode starts like that, and I'm like, where is this going? And I was like, oh, that person is not here anymore, because they're interviewing a family member. So,
and it was so important that there's 2 episodes. It's so important that the second episode is dedicated to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's never, I said, no. Who knew this? That's insane. So I actually kind of do hope that it brings up that. I don't know. Well, you know what? There isn't a statute of limitations on murder.
Well, no, they tried to sue them in 2002, unsuccessfully. The family of the civil.
Yeah, it had been a civil lawsuit.
Yeah.
When did Jerry Springer stop airing?
A year or 2 before he died. It was on to 2019.
Oh, new episodes?
Yes.
Because I know the Bodyguard or the what was it?
They were back to back in some markets. Some markets they were back to back. They came on back to back.
Jerry and Steve.
Yep.
Yeah, Steve got his
See, that was a whole thing. That was a whole episode, the whole Steve era of Jerry Springer, where they would yell his name and he was the main bodyguard. That's the whole. They did not discuss that in the doc. That's a whole 5-6 year era of Jerry Springer with this Steve.
It feels very rushed. I feel like they had this idea and there was a deadline that they had to meet.
And they couldn't get Steve and a whole bunch of people like they claim they probably did in the prospectus that he sent over to Netflix. Hey, we're going to get Steve. We're going to get this person. And maybe Steve was like, no.
Steve, but
It's not. It's. I mean, it was fine. I definitely learned things that I didn't know before, but it definitely feels incomplete. Like it feels really incomplete. Yeah, I don't. They just is not complete at all. But I do like that they did speak to the producers, the production staff. Yep. The one producer who finally was like, "Yeah, I'm out. I'm out." After there was a 16-year-old who was an escort or prostitute, and her father was calling the escort line to request her, and she would have to go to have sex with her father, and that was the story. And so they it's like, this can't be true, right? This is not it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, this can't be true.
Like, they bring them there, put them in separate hotels, and all of that. The guy, one of the producers, goes to the girl's hotel to go, talk to her and get her ready and everything. Knocks on the door, and I think she opens it, and like her dad is in the background in the towel because they had just had relations. And the guy was like, yeah, no, like it's one of those, there's a level of deniability that you can have of like, this, they're probably making all this up, it's not real. But I think when he actually saw that, that's when it was like, I need to go to church. I need to go find a church right now. I have got to. I gotta go talk to Jesus because ain't no way. Like, and for me, like I always say, you can. At what cost? There's always the question: at what cost? Fame or your paycheck? At what cost?
All right, we got to give a rest in peace to Barry Cooper, the writer and concept person for one of the first hood classic movies, New Jack City. The legacy of that is crazy. Like I may have this. I actually have the original script of New Jack City given to me. Totally different. His is way more. So I'm gonna give y'all one tidbit that was super like, it upset me a little bit that it wasn't in the film. Keisha was more of like a black militant.
I can see that.
That was a drug dealer. So remember her? They were trying to do with her with those the Queen Latifah hats she was wearing, but she was more like wearing medallions, saying like, what are we doing? Like, are we giving back to the hood? Like, that was her character in the original script. It was more a Queen Latifah-ish person if they were a drug dealer and a killer. But they changed it a little bit more. I get it, that stuff happens or whatever. But it was kind of dope to see Keisha like that, and she had more of a role in the original script as well. She had way more lines, she was way more part of the organization on a day-to-day basis, the way they had it in there. But that movie, man, was so impactful. I remember my parents were not responsible parents. I tell people that all the time. I saw all the hood movies in theaters. I don't know how I convinced them. I don't know if they were like, we really don't do nothing for your little broke ass. So at least can take you to see the movies you want to go see. Like, you don't get much else. You can at least see the movies you want to see in the theaters. And I remember seeing that at Halls Ferry 14, seeing New Jack City. And in my mind, I felt like it was the movie, The Murder Show, not The Murder Show, the music video, The Murder Show. Cats was throwing popcorn at the from Spice One and MC8. They were throwing popcorn at the screen. It was going like crazy in there, just in general. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to get older. Like, that was my whole thing. Like, this is how I get to live when I go out to the movies. I just get to throw popcorn.
This before stadium seating.
Oh, no, this is like you sitting down in them deep chairs in the Halls Ferry with the steel. You can't even look. If you put your arm around a girl on them things, you had to. Hey, baby, hold on. Can I get a minute? Like my shit like jammed up.
Yeah. No couple seats.
My shit then jammed up.
Now you have me think. I'm like, I know. I saw Menace to Society and Friday, I think, at Halls Ferry.
I saw Boys in the Hood at Esquire.
I wasn't allowed to see Boys in the Hood. My brother saw it. My mama took my brother to go see it.
What's that AMC? It was right by Northwest Plaza, but across the street in that little plaza.
It was called Northwest.
Yeah, I saw it in that one. Yeah.
But I didn't know that he was that he had done Above the Rim and Sugar Hill.
Yeah,
as well.
New York based stuff. Like he was
like John Singleton East.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think something I just saw that said that he coined the term New Jack Swing.
I don't know, but I still think that might
podcast. We definitely discuss healing. We discuss aspects of psychology. We discuss you becoming the best you, mental wellness,
for sure,
health.
Femininity, parenthood, dating,
definitely dating,
single parents. And it's from a lens of two psychologists,
Yeah.
So,
but also two people who grew up with both parents, married parents, and then you all know that Chloe and I are the youngest of our crews, her siblings and my siblings. So it's from that perspective.
Yeah, looking at life through that lens. Yeah. So you're gonna get a whole lot of things from us. From us being women, going through life as parents, and all of these awesome attributes. But yes, womanology, the study of women.
The study of women.
Teddy Riley.
Yeah, I'm gonna get at the Teddy.
Because that song, the New Jack, remember the song by Rex and Effect? You know the thing about the New Jack Swing. That was 89 when that came out. That song came out 88, 89. So it's no way that he did. And New Jack came out in 90, 91. Unless he did that and told him on the low. We don't know about it. And it was a conversation they had. And he was like, oh, I'm going to name my new song, the New Jack Swing, with that I'm doing with my brothers.
December 1987, he wrote the piece New Jack City Eats Its Young for the Village Voice.
Oh, no, I'm seeing that now. So he did in 87, right? So no, he did come up with it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm looking at the Hollywood Reporter.
Sorry, Mr. Cooper. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I said, it's I don't like I said, if I pull something up, I don't go to them random ass sites. I'm usually on a site that I didn't pay for a subscription for or something.
Yeah, Mr. Cooper, I am sorry. You are
that is a real thing. So I'm like, well, no, the Hollywood Reporter says, or you know me, I'd be like, well, the New York Times, the LA Times said, and these again, I gotta use your reputable sources, but put some respect on that name.
Yeah, I mean, New Jack City.
During this time, Village Voice Cooper wrote a piece about the rise in R&B and singer Teddy Riley. The piece titled "Teddy Riley's New Jack Swing: Harlem Gangsters Raise a Genius" captured a star at his meteoric rise to the top, but also coined the term New Jack Swing that defined the genre of music associated with Riley and his collaborators. Bam.
Mentioning Barry Michael Cooper, we're going to put you on the spot now. We have to do a Hood Classics with Sugar Hill since you have not seen it, Stacey.
I have not. I love the song though. I do. I love it.
Now there's two songs now. Well, one is
AZ.
Yeah, you talking about AZ, but that's not a part of the movie. That's not a part of the song. The movie.
I don't care. I like the song. My answer to no, I haven't seen the movie Sugar Hill, but I like Sugar Hill by AZ. That's my response to that.
Stacey,
it doesn't matter if it's in the movie.
If you like that song, you gonna love the original called Sugar Free.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of the group, but the name of the song is Sugar Free. Yeah.
I'm
hold on. I know I should know who this is. This is for the It's M2 May.
That was M2 May?
Yeah, it's M2 May. I knew it, yeah.
All right,
it's M2 May that made the original.
Yeah.
But yeah, rest in peace to you, Mr. Cooper. All right, now this one is we learned so much about this song, Regulators. It's I don't know if they're making up stuff at this point, because we learn different things about this song. I feel like every 3 to 4 years about different things that happen within this song. Now the Warren G says phones in there. Everyone, and I mean everyone, thought he was talking about real phones, cellular phones, like in this situation, like phones or headphones. Because that's what you had. You would ride around with his headphones.
Headphones.
So, talking to my bestie Brandon earlier today when I just gotten the agenda and everything, and he was like, "What y'all talking about today?" So I mentioned blah blah, and so when I talked about this, and he was like, "Okay, first off, I didn't." He's like, "I honestly never thought that it said phones," and I'm like, "What?" He was like, "He always heard he thought it was funk." He's like, he always heard like his ear heard funk. He never heard phones. And I'm like, I said, well, now you've ruined my response to this. I'm like,
this is totally not what
I'm like, now you've kind of messed it up because, okay, pretend that you heard phones so I can finish tell you the damn story. But yeah, go ahead and play this so that the people can be pissed as well.
It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume some skirts for the eve so I could get some phones, rolling in my ride, chilling all alone. I went from the RBX type thing down to Sir Cool. And Nate just went off of what I said. I freestyled that shit. I swear to God. And then Nate just went right off of that. And that's what gave me the power to start jotting down, going off of what Nate said. Because where he ended at, if you listen, I'll continue with a story within that. Because he said we was out looking for some women. Because that's what, when I say phones, they think I'm saying funk. Right. But I'm saying trying to get some phones.
Yeah, like
I
some
mean
numbers?
headphones.
Oh,
We call getting some headphones.
Trying to get some phones.
Trying to get some phones.
30 years later. I had no idea, bro. Like, and I'm telling you, all this time that I've heard Regulate, as many times I played it, as many interviews we had, bro, I never knew that when you say trying to get some phones, I'm thinking phone. Oh, like, man, we rolling out with some females. We trying to get some phone numbers.
Trying to get some head. Right. Headphones.
That's ingenious, bro.
All right.
So you see, Warren even said people think I said fuck. So like I said, so for Brandon to say I heard funk or funk, okay.
That's what I ain't gonna lie, that's what I thought he said too, man. I always thought he said funk.
Wait a minute. So my response to Brandon is I said, but the next line is chilling on my ride, like all alone. And he was like, I said, the next line rhymes. And he was like, when has rhyming ever mattered? In rap? He's like, how many times have people tried to rhyme two things together that did not rhyme? And I'm too shy. But childhood ruined. I mean,
my thing is like it don't even like phone. I get phones would mean multiple heads, but don't you just need one to get yourself there and you can go on back home? Phones mean multiples, right? Because there's an S on it. Well, I guess headphones. I guess that's a plural because it's two different ones. I guess, but man,
you don't wear a headphone.
Yeah, you wear a headphone. There's two of them.
But
right, you're saying you need plural women then? Like
I mean, some people like to.
But Nate was in the cut.
I mean, the real. Here's the thing, though. If you can get your stuff done by one girl, or you can get it done by two.
Well, this makes this song more interesting. Than you got yourself off a play by going to play this dice game. You should have stayed on this mission to get headphones. I thought you were actually trying to get phone numbers, maybe hanging out, doing some stuff, whatever, or funk, whatever. You went off track going to go play dice in the middle of this whole mission, and you got yourself in a situation of getting jacked. I'm sorry, Warren. They took all your jewels, even your Folex. Because I'm assuming it wasn't a real Rolex; it was a Folex at that time.
I looked at the brother, said, "Damn, what's this?" Well, you gotta ask the robber. Look, nigga, what else? What do you want from me? You done took everything I had. I ain't got nothing, nigga. You done took it all.
Where's Nathaniel?
He said he the one that told him to go to the dice game. Nate told him to go to the dice game. He was gonna meet him there.
Nate, help!
That's the only way I thought about it. That's the only way that he knew that he was gonna be there. Like, how do you just randomly?
Nate was supposed to be there.
I think Nate was supposed to be at this dice game.
Yeah.
He said, "Was like just hit the east side of the LBC on a mission trying to find Mr. Warren G.
You knew where he was. He told me to go to that dice game.
We see the same girls and everything. So he was on the way. They were going somewhere. I wonder if they were like going to, maybe they were going to a club or something. They were going somewhere.
To the east
like,
side.
I think they had to been going. So for Nate to go down the same route, they were on the way to some place. And then, however, Nate just happens to see, oh shit, is that like in Men's Society? Niggas, is that her? And them over there?
Yeah.
Just happened to be. But yeah, childhood ruined. No. And phones. And like Big Boy is like, what? I'm sorry.
Oh.
And Big Boy was literally like being bodyguards for people back then. Like he was literally, they like, bro, I've known you since '94. You ain't never told me.
That's what I'm saying. So like for Big Boy to be in shock like that, he's like, as many interviews as we've done, or we've talked about this song all this time, I never, what? Like he's
like a bodyguard for those cats. He was like a bodyguard.
Like yes, he's been in the industry forever. Like it's one of those. Like I said, there are some people when they tell you stories because of their reputation in the industry. When Big Boy is going to tell me a story about something that happened in the industry, I want to believe him because I know he was definitely there, or whoever told him the story was very credible for him to repeat it, right? Because that's the reputation he has. He doesn't have a reputation for bullshit. So, like I said, for him, that shock on his face is genuine. It was like, what?
You ain't tell me.
Like, nobody told me nothing.
Why you didn't tell me at least? Like
headphones.
Yeah. That was one of them slang words that just never picked up then, and maybe he thought it was gonna pick up, and it never did.
It's actually like that local. I'm not even gonna call it local or regional. I feel like it was his clique.
Yeah.
That said it. Like that was him and his friends. That was something that they said. I don't think it was local or regional, because if it was, somebody would have corrected us a long time ago about it. If it really was. So it's
because if E40 ain't said it, it ain't real.
Phones.
Because didn't he come out with a book language? Didn't he come out with a book's language?
I don't know if it ever dropped.
Did it ever drop? Okay, that's what I said. Did it ever drop?
Yeah. I don't think it ever dropped because I've been waiting on that book since high school.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was supposed to write a book on all the slang. It was supposed to be like a dictionary for slang.
Yeah, he had his own little dictionary.
Right,
but I remember in the Loonies album, they had like a little slang thing in the Operation Stackola. Because
yeah, they did.
It had hella
album.
That was a good album. That Operation Stackola was
J-O-B if you wanna be like, because broke hoes is a no-no.
This next question comes from one of our listeners. This is actually a real good one. What R&B group needed a certain member for them to be successful? So this came from them sending me a high five, and it was like Tony Thompson. Their group is never the same without him. So this is the
you need Tony.
Like Tony is the group. Like you can't do high five without Tony.
Correct.
You need to dance, and I'm gonna sing.
Right.
There was another guy in the group that sang. I mean, he's
the dark-skinned brother, stocky brother.
Yeah. But even still, it wasn't the same without Tony. I mean, like I said, they swept out another member, and we didn't even realize it.
Hell,
multiple times.
In mint condition.
Yeah, so like I said, I was on the phone with Brandon earlier. So I'm like, and I said, well, like I said, actually, I said, I need your help with this one. So we went through like kind of a list of some people. So go ahead. Like I said, you already mentioned Stokely with mint condition. That was on the list. So Drew Hill. Here's the thing, though. It's almost he said, because I said Cisco, and he was like Jazz.
Yo. You said who? Jazz?
He said Jazz.
Vocally Jazz.
But I would say Nokia because of the production. He did all that early production on that stuff. You don't have their sound.
It's still vocally though. So like I said, for me, I'm like, oh, they need Cisco. And he's like jazz. But Cisco has said that jazz was the better singer. He's there's he's said that plenty of times. So that's that. Hey, like so SWV Coco.
Oh, I mean that's yeah.
The TLC Left Eye.
Ooh. You right.
He said LaBelle. I screamed laughing. I said they couldn't live without Patty and LaBelle. I'm like, that is funny as shit. He said Rufus couldn't live without Shaka Khan. But I said, here's a question. I said, Boys to Men. I said they were able to easily lose Mike, right? And be able to and do whatever. But I'm like, can you have Boys to Men, the trio right now? Can you lose Wanye? Can you lose Sean?
Nope.
You're gonna replace it with all his kids.
Right, and then you can and then you can be like, what you say?
You're gonna replace it with all his kids.
Oh shit! But then
that's some shit Otis would have done if he had kids like that, and for the Temptations, that's what Otis would have done.
Like I said, you can't lose Wanye, you can't lose Sean, and believe it or not, you kind of almost can't lose Nate either. Like it's
they got equal work.
Like it's so Wanye is extra.
They're basically in vogue. They're in vogue.
Yeah, Wanye is extra. Sean just is that smoothness of it. Nate is that middle ground that brings it all together. So like again, you can't lose. Who you can't like, and even with them singing lead on stuff, like I think Wanye and Sean sing lead more than Nate does, but even still, you imagine doing just fine without Wanye.
Yeah, I'll make love to you without Wanye.
Yeah,
like yeah. So I'm trying to think. I don't even remember.
The deal with Babyface.
Well, we know. Well, that was a hard one because they had. No, you're right.
The Jackson 5 without Michael.
That's a Dino from H-Town. H-Town is not H-Town without Dino.
And you know what? I actually saw them last. Well, the two of them,
and I think that's a travesty, man.
The twin,
we need to talk to
tries. The other twin, he be trying, man.
It was never.
I don't think it's just go get another lead singer just to be able to tour correctly. I mean, I know you don't want to replace your brother, but neither one of y'all are lead singers.
And the dark skinned dude just be hitting them high notes.
Yeah.
like for instance, I'm gonna give a good example. Switch replaced Bobby DeBarge with a younger guy. I think he's maybe late 30s, early 40s, maybe 10 years ago. And they're touring and doing well, but he can carry the falsetto like Bobby DeBarge did. And then they're not shitting on Bobby or anything like that, but it sounds better than them trying to get somebody else in the band to go and sing Bobby's parts. Just get somebody else that can sing Dino's parts. I know y'all don't want to split them checks, but
what about Raphael Sadiq with Tony?
I mean, they tour without him right now. I mean,
I thought he got back. Well, yeah, you said
that. No, that was a few nights only. That was that limited tour. That was like
when he felt like it. When he felt like this.
Right. And I was in the interview. Crazy thing you said, Raphael Sadiq. He said that he wants to do an instrumental album with them. He don't want to do a singer. He wants to be all instrumental. Like if they do another Tony album. And I'm like, oh, he don't like hanging with y'all. He want to come in and play the bass a little bit, do his part, and go home.
Is he like the Andre 3000 of R&B?
Essentially, most of the time you just can't lose your lead singer. If you have a group where your lead really runs this, like without like your lead is always. So like think of Immature, right? You can't have Immature without Marcus Houston.
But New Edition did it. New Edition did it.
Like New Edition without Ralph.
New Edition. I think New Edition. I mean, Belle Biv DeVoe did fine.
Yeah, but they went a different direction. But they also kind of like they
more hip hop.
Right. So it worked because they didn't try to be New Edition Junior.
Yeah.
Like they embraced what was happening in the culture at that time, and
really one singer in the group.
Like I'm like, yeah, New Edition would have never made Poison.
Yeah.
No.
So like, yeah, so that's that. I'm thinking about like Escape.
Tasha.
So yeah, here's the thing.
But Tasha's now on tour with them now, right?
She usually ain't. It's always some shit. But like with that though, but you know, Candy and Tiny wrote.
Did all the writing. They did most of the writing.
No, like I mean, again, you don't really need Tasha for real. Like, I mean, she ain't been around. Like, but again, I love her voice. I'm not gonna say that she doesn't have an amazing voice. I think that she has definitely one of the better voices in the group. Her and her sister, honestly. But it's I'm trying to think who else had groups. Shit.
Jagged Edge. Nah.
Get out the
112.
No, 112 is one of those groups as well. They're almost similar to Boyz II Men, except for Darren, the producer dude, the one that never sing on nothing.
Yeah, the light.
They all carry lead. All three of them carry leads. I know Slim is maybe the most known, but if you look back, all three of them cats was carrying leads. Slim, Q, I forgot the other brother's name. Mike. I think it's Mike. Them three was carrying leads equally. So I think that's one of those as well. That's why 112 ain't doing well as much now, period, because Q not with them.
Yeah,
and it's only Slim and Mike. I don't even think Darren is with them either.
It ain't 112, it's 2 and 2.
2 and 2, right? They got two background singers.
Right, and it's like so. In Vogue didn't have to like I said, Don left and things just were never the same. But I think it just was a chemistry thing. Yep. I think that's what that is, because without Dawn, you still have three powerful singers,
100%,
amazing, powerful singers that can absolutely do lead, not an issue. I think Dawn leaving, I think it just affected the chemistry of it all. They weren't able to regroup the way the Boyz II Men was able to. Boyz II Men was able to lose a member and realize, and be like, okay, we're going to have to rearrange a lot of shit. And all
but also, Boyz II Men had time though. In Vogue, that was early, and In Vogue only had 2 albums when that happened to them. Boyz II Men had 4 albums before that happened, where they did that. They at least had time to get a fan base fully embracing them totally. In Vogue only had 2 albums. They did even
and then the third album. Big song that was on the Set It Off soundtrack.
Yeah, and that's the last song.
That was the last hit. Well, big hit.
Yeah.
But I mean, even like I said, time or no time, like I said, it's still you gotta.
What about Blackstreet? This Blackstreet.
Which version?
I don't even know who is in Blackstreet. Like I don't.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Which version?
Who's in Blackstreet is the question.
Chauncey.
No, there's 2 Blackstreets touring.
Yeah, because Chauncey owns some of them songs too.
Chauncey owns part of it, and Teddy Riley. So Teddy Riley, David Hollister, and like 2 other niggas. And then on the other side is Chauncey and I think the dude Middletone and 2 other niggas. So it's like if they just figured it out and then they got to go back and get it's because they've been replacing a lot of even on the albums. Y'all know there's been a lot of different Blackstreet members.
Man.
Because the original Blackstreet originally was Chauncey Black and like Greg Overstreet, and that's the dude that's on Baby Be Mine. The one
when Dave Hollister in the
no, not the original, not the original Blackstreet. It's Chauncey, Teddy Riley, Greg Overstreet, and somebody else that we don't know. Once again, as Blackstreet goes through this constantly, and he's the one singing the lead on Baby Be Mine, the song that was in CB4 that they had. And he left the group, and they were like, "We already named the group Blackstreet. We just gonna keep it going." And then they added Dave Hollister. But I don't know who could leave in that group with all that being said.
Who the hell's in the group?
What about Jodeci? I mean, we saw what happened if JoJo and KC ain't there.
The fucked up thing is that I feel like Dalvin and Devontae could have just found another lead singer and moved forward.
You think so?
I feel like with so here's the thing. Like, so we know Devontae production wise, right? Dalvin was in charge of being cute and getting the girls. So and he did it really well.
And I think he still be doing that because I just be seeing his videos come across my time.
Know your role and do it well. Okay.
And he probably a good organizer too. He's probably like a good organizer. He probably does a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Do it well. So again, so for like I said, if Devontae was doing like production, all that other stuff, right? Like, and find somebody to sing it.
So you think they could replace Casey and JoJo?
I think they couldn't. They wouldn't have still been Jodeci, but I feel like Devontae could have. I mean, again, he continued to produce, like he didn't stop. So again, it's more or less if I'm producing or we're writing or whatever it is we're doing, I need somebody else to sing it. That's it. So I absolutely think that like I said, we know, like I said, Casey and JoJo leaving. Like, so let's say if they were still there, if Jodeci was still 4.
Yep.
Could you lose? Do you lose Casey or can you lose JoJo?
You can lose JoJo.
You lose JoJo.
It just Brandon wise, KC was just your better Brandon.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, he taking off his shirt, he all up in the crowd. JoJo kind of just be kind of chilling, singing with doing his thing.
JoJo just had the White Sox hat on and was just like
right in the glass. You can have my love. Like he just gonna chill. KC gonna be surfing on some man on his back.
Yeah, taking somebody's hot dog.
Yes. He's gonna do that.
He's like, give me that.
Pure ridiculousness. You gotta love the ridiculousness of it all. Pure ridiculousness.
Let me get some of that hot dog.
All right, next up, Betty Wright. This is a last minute addition to the docket. Betty Wright, I did not know that there was a beef with her in Color Me Bad, which is Color Me Bad has been on this agenda for people that do not know for weeks. We just haven't talked about it because we've been through other stuff. A perfect way to bring them back in with Betty Wright. Let's let her tell her story with the song I Want to Sex You Up from Betty Wright herself.
I turned the radio on and the first song I heard was I want to sex you up. I want to sex you up. Now, I was listening to the music and it sounded so familiar, so I turned it up a little bit. I said, it sounds so, like, that deja vu moment, like you heard it before. And then I heard a voice say, I know you're not gonna sing that song. I say, now, I realize I've been on tour, and I realize I've been gone a little while, but I know my own voice. So I turn it up even a little louder. Charlie didn't get any better, because that's when I heard the bass come in and play a little something like this. I say, now wait a minute. Somebody is stealing. So I proceeded to get on the phone, call everybody who was anybody to find out something about anything. And after getting the royal runaround, I made the call I should have made in the first place, which was to my lawyer. And I'm happy to report to y'all that I did win. Thank you very much. So I decided, while I was waiting for them to send me and my 5 babies all of our money, that I would go back in the studio and put a little message to the rappers. The ones that thought they wrote my song. Baby, that ain't sampling, that's stealing. What's the matter? Can't you rather don't feel it? Ought to come clean with the real deal. If you had real talent, you wouldn't have to steal. Dr. Freeze, that was cold. Stop in your tracks. You stole my song.
All right, she can't rap well, so we could stop it there. But so Stacey sent me down a rabbit hole. Then I was like, she won that. I mean, I didn't even know. I mean, I knew it was her beat. I didn't, you know, so many soul artists from back in the day don't own their publishing and masters, and somebody else got their money, you know. And it's just, you know, she may have been calling. I was like, let me look this up. Oh, she got 35% of their publishing. 35%. And for people to understand, that's a lot. Yes. Now, keep in mind that basically them Negroes ain't getting no money on this song no more, in theory, because the producer of the actual song is actually the one white dude that's with the long hair in the group.
Yeah, look, Kenny
he
G
ended up being like a big time producer in the 90s, like too, like on the low. Like you look up his discography, he did A. Marie, all kind of crazy people. Just on the low. That's why you've never seen him back with Color Me Bad when they do these little 90s tours. There's only 3 of them that come out. But anyway, if it's 35% gone, he probably getting his 25% for actually producing the song and like writing it. And then the record label's gonna get a little A piece. Now y'all got to break up, let's say 30% of the publishing, if that, left of the publishing. So they ain't making no money on a song that is super big. That's on every one of them 90s wows, all those. You know, people play that song ubiquitously everywhere. Betty Wright's getting paid. I had to tune it up for Betty Wright today to make sure she got a little coin. Let Betty get a little coin off of me. You know, hey, 35% of this is going to Betty. But let me let y'all jump in. Go ahead. What y'all think?
Get your money. Get your money. Get your money.
That's to tell who did what, to see who did.
That is absolutely an old ass woman saying that. I had to get on the phone and call and find out who
Sam
what
Waters
about
is the
what.
dude's name for people that want to look him up. Sam Waters is the dude's name. If y'all want to look him up, the dude I'm talking about, the producer dude. But keep going, y'all.
Yeah, but look, hey, damn right.
One of them working in a tire shop. I think the actual lead singer.
Yeah, pause real quick, y'all. Hold on. He wrote "When I See You" for Fantasia. Oh, Sam Waters did.
I have been talking about that song for like the past couple of days in one of the old school R&B group or something. And I was
it was really written for like a teenage girl, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's get your money. Hey, damn right, get your money. Like I don't feel like sampling is stealing. There's an art to sampling.
Right.
There's an art, there's a certain ear and all of that. So when it's done right, I mean, and we've seen it with Kanye, we've seen it with Timberland, we've seen Pharrell sometimes, if it ain't a Marvin Gaye situation, but but again, when it comes to sampling, like you hear that one little thing and you use that. So there's definitely a craft, and like I said, there's a lot of artistry that goes into sampling done right. But just taking the beat and being like, all right, I'm gonna rap over this. Okay, well, that's not really a sample. Like that, it's like you can't call it a sample if it's the whole thing.
Yeah, you just rapping over the song.
Like it's not a sample if it's the entire thing.
Hey, look, so I'm gonna name the songs, all the songs that have sampled Betty Wright. Knocking the Boots, Candyman.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, DJ Quick. Yeah. Down with the Click, Aaliyah. Obviously, Color Me Bad, I Want to Sex You Up. Luke featuring 2 Live Crew, Man Not a Myth. Loving You Easy, In Vogue. What Can I Say? Some French guy. Tonight's the Night, Yo Yo. Then Candyman redid it again. Don't Cry, Dry Your Eyes. He did it again and sampled her. I didn't know you could come back for a second round.
Give me a little
sample. I've never even heard of that. Like
I ain't do it right the first time.
Grab some, but again, it could be different pieces of it. Like so, Yeah, like rather than the entire song, like the entire beat, like again, if it's a little, maybe it was a little bass line or something, a little something on the end. So a little piece of something versus the whole
James Brown samples.
right, doing the whole damn thing. Like that's the difference. I feel like it's just that. But hey, like I said, get your money. If it's yours, it's yours. I have no qualms about anybody getting paid their worth and for what they have done. If you did it, you deserve it.
That's your art.
It's your art. It's yours. Like so.
All right, for our last story, we have 2 Aaliyah stories. I'm gonna let you guys choose. Are we gonna talk about Aaliyah's brother saying that she would be the biggest artist in the world, or Alicia Keyes writing? I
want Alicia Keyes.
We can do Alicia Keyes. Let's do the Alicia Keyes.
All right, let me.
It's a lie. Oh.
Hold on, we're gonna play Alicia Keyes discussing "If I Ain't Got You" for that she wrote that for after Aaliyah's passing. Okay, that's not at all.
But if I
hold on, my bad, y'all.
Died.
Hold on, here we go.
I was on a plane, and Aaliyah had just died, and
Aaliyah just died.
And we were all so shocked because it just happened so fast, and of course nobody was expecting it, and Aaliyah is so amazing. And I always felt like if I knew Aaliyah, I didn't know Aaliyah, but if I had met her, it was, I was just starting, so I didn't really get a chance to meet her. But if I did, I feel like we would have really connected. So I was on the plane and I was just thinking about how short life is. I was thinking about just how unexpected everything is, and how
my bad, Dad just came.
1 minute to the next, and
all right, you about to head out?
Gave me this feeling of like, we all want so many things, but like, what does it matter when you don't have the things that matter the most? And that was that idea of everything means nothing if I ain't got you. So I was really inspired by her in a lot of ways. And I remember I went to the hotel right when I landed, and I always have at least a keyboard in my hotel just so that I can play my thoughts or whatever, work on whatever I'm working on. And I wrote, and I started to write this song, and it happened really fast.
All right, Stacey, you call cap on this.
Bullshit. I'm 43. I don't say cap. Bullshit is what I say. Bullshit. As a fan of MASH, the cow pies, mule fritters. Like it's bull. Like it. Yeah.
We don't believe you. You need more people.
We don't believe you. You need more people. But apparently this isn't the first time that she said that. So I'm looking at an article from Complex Magazine, 2011.
Oh,
and she said it then. That the song I did came together right after Aaliyah passed away. It was such a sad time and no one wanted to believe it. It just made everything crystal clear to me, what matters and what doesn't, said Mrs. Keyes on the 2003 single off of the Diary of Alicia Keyes. Now remember, Aaliyah died in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So then
Alicia Keyes was just kind of coming out right around.
Right. So she was just
coming out on the second album too, right? And that would be on the second album, the Diary of Alicia Keyes, the second album, right?
But that didn't come out to like 04, like 03, 04.
No, the second album was like 06.
The Diary of Alicia Keyes came out 2003.
Yeah.
It's on the first album.
The one with If I Ain't Got You on it.
No, the first album is Songs in A minor.
And when that come out?
That was 01.
01. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I said. She was coming out like right when Aaliyah.
So she did. Okay, so she was in the industry doing her thing in 01 when Aaliyah passed.
Right. So and she said that though, but she said that she was like, I never met Aaliyah. Like I was new into the industry at that time. And so, Aaliyah died August 01. The Songs in A minor dropped June of 01.
Yeah,
so if she did
out.
write, like, so it would have come out. Like, simply put, if she would have, it does make sense that she would have written it and it would have come out later. Now the song didn't drop to 2004, but the album came out in, what did I just say? 2003.
Later.
Okay. Yeah.
I look, people get inspiration from various things. I just don't believe this story. I just don't.
Because that was the second single after You Don't Know My Name.
Yep. I just don't believe you. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I wish I did. I just don't. I just don't. And then even on Wikipedia, it's like she was inspired by the death of Aaliyah, the September 11th attacks, and other events in the world, and thought about how material things don't feed the soul. Now, let me say this. That is my song. Like, the If I Ain't Got You is my favorite Alicia Keyes song. Like, it is, it's in my heart. I love it. I mean, who the fuck am I? I don't know. I just it just sounds like it's just some shit that you won't say. Like, I don't know.
She out here cloud chasing.
I just don't believe. I wish I did. I just don't believe you. You need more people.
Like, you need more people. Look, let's get it together. You need more people.
Like, no, I just don't.
You wasn't even with Swizz at the time.
But yeah, I love celebrity lies. I love when celebrities lie about shit, and I love catching them in lies and telling and being like, that never happened. I love saying that. But I'm just
I do want to shout out Stacey though, because I tried to watch Jennifer Hudson's show and her walkout a lot better than the show.
Look, Stacey, that's one of the truest things she's ever spoken in her life. Like literally, if you could put that on her tombstone, that would be it. She
like that. The walkouts make you think like that show. Like,
no, you think it's live. You think that show's on? Like, oh, it must be kicking it on that couch. And it's not.
They even got Aaron Pierre Mufasa all over the internet. I ain't seen the interview.
I ain't gonna front. Maybe they just need to do. She just need to do walkouts. Like, that's just the whole thing. Is just have her crew, because them people need to be hired. Those production staff, they should be hired on the next show.
Like, she should be like an Ed McMahon, be like in the walkway.
Yes.
Fucking Jennifer Hudson.
Well, we're gonna talk about and I revisited. This album is a little bit over 30 years old, but this week is the first week. This month is the first week this album went #1, and it is Mary J. Blige's My Life album. Some people arguably say that's her best album. Let's go to overall thoughts before we dive into the tracks. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that this is her best album. Everybody loves this was her heartbreak era.
This is KC. This is the KC era. Like, she's full
right after KC.
No, this ain't after. KC is with her. He on this album. She with KC at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. With the toxic, before toxic relationships was even a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was loving this when this was a blonde hair Mary.
Yes.
Because it was like, man, look what she did.
This blonde hair Mary with the swoop, with the swoop over the eye.
Blonde hair Mary, baby. Yes, Mary J. Blige is a hairstyle icon, first and foremost. And
I agree.
Flat out, because when she was Red Hot Mary to be exact, because that was the dark and lovely color that they were selling, and that's what I dyed my hair color too. So when I was a redhead, like I was redhead for a while. And it was because it was Red Hot Mary is what I was wearing. And
that's the name of the product is Red Hot Mary.
I'm not making that up. Like, yeah, that was the name of the dye. Like, it was dark and lovely. Red Hot Mary was the color. So when it comes to the hair, the girls have always gotten what Mary had. Anybody worry about a little Beyonce's hair until she had them braids, and people had already been wearing braids for decades. So just put that out there. Like, so when it comes to the hair, you got your hair done like Mary, and then next generation started getting their hair done like Rihanna. But we ain't followed, but amazing album. Be Happy. We performed that 7th grade talent show. We did that 7th grade talent show, and I think we did the remix.
The Keith Murray,
the remix one. It was. I mean, I'm going down, Mary. Like, you bring me joy. My life, for me, was like. I mean, to this day, like, I still listen to it, and it still hits me hard. But like, the other part of it is, like I said, so that time when that album came out, like, so I was in middle school. Everybody knows middle school is just fucking horrible. Like, on every kid, it's just bad. And my life was like, literally the song "My Life" was like, I would put it on. It'd be on repeat. So it's like I'm laughing as I'm looking at all the tracks, and I'm like, did you actually listen to every song on her? Because I feel like I just had my life on repeat. Like, and that was it. Like, because that's how deep it was for me. Like, I was just sad all the time. And like, but that song just really, I felt like somebody gets me. Like, so so Mary, so that's 94. So between My Life and Me Against the World, Shed So Many Tears, Tupac, those were.
We'll get into that later on this year.
That's
20 years. 30 years coming up for me.
But coming up on the 30.
You bring me joy. You. That's my shit. I mean, it's a good, it's a solid album.
I like the Mary Jane.
All Night Long.
All Night Long, yeah.
Yeah, so let's go through the track. So intro, it's a normal intro, which is Mary's intro is actually pretty good in general. Her intro to 401 is good as well, with everybody leaving a message.
The answering machine.
Yeah, it was, and I was like, dang, like people was really messing with Mary. Like at that time, especially then, you had Grand Poobah on there. You had I think Busta was on there. It was random people just leaving a message like, oh, so she is the queen of hip hop, R&B, soul, or whatnot.
Train of thought. Daryl, write this down. Grand Poobah. Write down Grand Poobah, Tommy Hilfiger. We'll talk about it later. But remember, I've always talked about like that Tommy Hilfiger rumor. I need to know. I've been.
Grand Poobah is one of the people that got put on Tommy Hilfiger. Nobody talks about.
Yeah. So but like I said, when you just said his name, I'm like, oh, I was supposed to tell him that like a week ago. But move on. Let's move forward. It's intro, all good. I mean, produced by Chucky Thompson and Puffy Combs.
No. This is a Chucky Thompson produced album. Ain't no way. Everyone always give Chucky Thompson, and rest in peace of Chucky Thompson that passed away this couple of years ago. Yeah. This is Chucky Thompson at his finest to me. Don't let that dude, the other guy that is in jail right now, take.
He was in the room.
Yeah. And he dropped Mary off and got a production credit.
He was in the room when he was making the beats.
Yeah. So we know that because we know that. But Mary Jane, All Night Long, you just mentioned that. Like, I mean, it's really his Mary Jane Girl song really just flipped. That they did. So I wonder, did the great Rick James get his cut off of this? Oh, they got him as a writer in the credits.
Yeah, he's a writing credit.
Yeah, so he got his publishing. Okay.
Yeah, he got his.
He took care of Rick.
And then, and You Bring Me Joy. I didn't know JoJo Haley wrote that with Mary.
And then, so production, it says for music, Chucky Thompson and Combs, and for vocals, it has Haley under production. So it has writers it has Mary and JoJo as writers, and then but for production it has JoJo being the vocal producer versus.
I wonder if he did the reference track then. That's what I wonder if he did the reference for that. And then next up on this album, another interlude, Marvin's interlude. You know, back then interludes were big for our younger listeners. Interludes and intros, outros, skits.
Yeah,
you know,
I do miss skits.
I do miss skits.
I should make an album just of skits.
I was surprised somebody didn't do that. Didn't the Jerky Boys try that with like their albums, like the prank call albums?
So, yeah, you have a skit on each song. Like, yeah.
I'm the Only Woman, which is a dope song. Now the next one, this I never understood. I mean, I know Keith Murray's our homeboy, so but this is an offshoot of a question for y'all. Hey man, Keith Murray had a great relationship with Diddy for some reason at one point, or Puff at once. It was Puff back then, because he also did the dope "Can't You See" remix with Keith Murray, which I arguably think is better than the Biggie one. To be honest, like just the way that beat bangs on the "Can't You See" remix, and then now he's on this right after the next year on another R&B remix.
Was he already with Def Jam at the time?
Yeah. He'd already came out with that first Get Lifted album.
Okay, yeah.
He was on the Def Squad.
Yeah, with the beautifulest thing in the world.
Yep. And Get Lifted.
Like, when did he go? But then when did he go to jail?
That was in the late 90s.
2000s, wasn't it?
Late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah. But he was there in the club or something and it hit somebody. I believe that's the case.
Welcome home, Murray. It made me. I started thinking about Fatty Girl and like just remember like them like saying "Welcome home" and then just I'm like, when did he go to jail? Then
he had a decent song with Tyrese back in like 06.
Okay, yep, May 25th of 1995. Murray is arrested after being accused of hitting a man with a bar stool in a fight and released on bail. So he didn't go to jail till 98 though, and he got out in 01. Okay. So that's when Fatty Girl will be out around it. So that makes sense.
Like, I ain't nuts. I'm like he had to have gone to jail like right after this.
Yeah.
Like yeah, so yeah. So anyway, but sorry, train of thought.
Yeah. So next up, You Gotta Believe, which is a dope song. I love this song.
Gotta Believe. And we got there.
And Big Bub from today.
Telling me story. We need to talk about that song. Let me write that down.
It's about a drug woman. You find out it's about somebody. He's like, when you're
telling me stories is about a woman that's addicted to crack, and she was lying to him about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what. But it's a good ass song. Like people don't realize that's what it's about. But no, like that's literally what the story is about. If you watch the video, I think at the end it has like, if you or a loved one is addicted to crack, call this number.
They do. Yep.
They do. Yep, I remember.
And that's another group that couldn't lose their lead singer was Big Bub with Today. Yeah.
Why you getting funky on me?
Tell me why.
You can perform all them songs without them. The next, I Never Want to Leave You, I Never Want to Live Without You. Another Big Bub written track.
Yeah, and a little Faith Evans on there too. So like it's you see
Faith. Combs just how is Combs involved?
He was in the room.
With these liner notes and these real writers are on here.
Like, he was in the room.
God, this nigga, man. I mean, for real, y'all really believing that Combs wrote 80% of this album? Stop it, man.
He was in the room.
That frustrates me more or less. We go through this album, I'm looking at it, I'm like, this nigga's on 85% of the credits.
He was in the room. He was in the building. All right, he was in the building.
Look, okay, some people wasn't even with you when you wasn't in the gym, when you were shooting in the gym. So, like, he was in the room.
He was in the room. He wasn't shooting, but he was in there.
Getting writing credit and production credit on a lot of these songs. Like, God damn.
He provided dinner. He provided snacks.
Like, okay, like he was giving the studio time, right? He was giving rides and all that stuff. Like the other part of it is, I think what we do know, like I said, as far as executive production is concerned, right? Being able to put it all together, I think that's the talent. If not making the beat, not writing the shit. None of that. I don't write rhymes. I write checks.
Executive producer credit, that's fine. But
right, it's absolutely fine, right? Again, so maybe you heard everything and you're like, yeah, but you know what though? If y'all would have done it, put that at the front and put this at the back, that'll do something different. And it's like, wait a minute, hold on, nigga, you right. Okay, cool. Run me like I need to get paid for me telling you that, but the idea you didn't.
Just put me on that production credit, player.
On all the production credits.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, I'm going down. At least he's on this too, and this is a remix. How did Diddy get a production credit on a song that's a remake?
Because it was his idea, and he was in the room.
This is amazing. He gets a production credit on a song.
Himself? He didn't told you. How many times you want him to tell you what how this happened? You're not listening. That's probably
he was in every room.
Always.
He was in every room at the same time.
Oh, Snapple.
All right, next up, My Life Interlude. Oh no, we didn't even talk about the song My Life. I'm sorry. Let me go back. We didn't talk about the song My Life, the song that Stacey talked about a little bit earlier. But is that was every 8th grade to 12th grade girl's song in general, their theme song, right?
If you look in the eye, you see what I see. Life can be only what you make it. When you're feeling down, I'm about to hold on, wait a minute.
Did he got a damn writing credit on that too? God damn. God damn it.
He was in all them rooms. With the what the people called the hitman.
Yeah, the hitman. Yeah.
He'll give you peace of mind. For real. Yes, he would. Like she was in. Like but again, it's not only just the words, it's not just the song, it's the passion in her voice as she's singing it. And it's someone else could have sang that song and it wouldn't have come off the same way. There's a level of, and I hate to say it, there's a level of hurt that you need to have to really like get that out there. And and I think that's why that song hits so hard, is because it wasn't a single. Was it? Like it was a single, or was
it? It was a single.
It was a single, but they didn't do a video for it.
There was no video for it.
Yeah, because they was pumping it on the radio now. They was pumping that song on the radio.
I like.
I know it's not a video for My Life. No, it's not a video for My Life.
There's not a video for My Life, and Wikipedia say it wasn't a single. But I know I heard it on the radio.
Maybe it wasn't a single, but they played that song on the radio a lot.
I'm like, I heard it on the radio. I'm not insane.
How they did how they did Beauty with Drew Hill.
Yeah. Yeah. Where the street said, you better be playing this. I'm requesting it.
That was the song for the streets.
So let's go back into the regular thing. So Be With You, which is a dope song. Mary's Joint. Hold on. I know there's one which was good. Don't Go, which is super dope. Big Bub on that one. I love that. I love Don't Go. I Love You, which is dope. Hold on. Did KC write? KC wrote No One Else.
Yeah. And Mr. Dalvin produced it.
What? So he look and no Diddy on here. No Diddy.
Dalvin out here doing something. Dalvin will be just fine. You just need somebody else to sing the songs. I told y'all that.
Dalvin was like, you can't come in this room, Puff.
Because did he come in the room? He get a credit. Oh, shit. Hold on, did he come in the room? So that was like they ain't let him know when they was doing the session for him. Like if he come in the room, he get a credit.
Y'all can do it. We gonna record this in my studio.
And then finally the big joint, Be Happy, which also has the remix with Keith Murray that wasn't on this album actually, and I think they put it on the re-released version.
Probably. And it's funny because I'm thinking about the remixes and how Mary literally had a remix album. There was the 411.
411.
And so, but the only song that I like on the remix album is the My Love with Heavy D.
With Heavy D.
Like, I mean, not that I dislike everything else, but My Love with Heavy D is my shit. Like,
what you gonna do without my
now that my love is gone away, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Like, it's 7 minutes long.
It's a long
because there's a long.
I guess Teddy Riley had to get his off.
Right, like it's a really long intro and then a long outro of Heavy D saying, "Got nothing love for you, back give me now." Like that's it. But hey, 7 minutes. I'm with it. I'm proud.
And then, I mean, and once again, Poke from Tone and Poke, the track masters, produced this. Diddy gets credit once again, and we could see the other production that the track masters have done that aligns along with this, and we know that Diddy didn't have anything to do with this. This in general, man, like this really pisses me off, yo. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I ruined maybe I revisited. I didn't realize that this Negro was on this many songs, not even on his label. This ain't even no Bad Boy. This on Uptown.
Yeah, that's Uptown. That's Andre Harrell.
Yeah, this after he left.
Because he went to Motown, didn't he?
Andre Harrell did go to Motown. Yep.
Yeah.
But this is no. This is one of his albums because I think this might be Mary's last album on Uptown because then Heavy D brought in Monifa. And was like his main girl when he took over Uptown when Andre Harrell went to Motown. And I think she may have just folded herself into MCA or something like that.
Yeah. My World, the second album released November 29th, 94 by Uptown and MCA Records.
And then Share My World is
unlike her debut, What's the 411, Blige contributed lyrics to 14 of the album's tracks, making it her most introspective and personal album at the time, which makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Similar to her debut album, My Life features extensive production from Sean Puffy Combs for his newly founded label, Bad Boy Entertainment, which was at the time backed by Arista Records.
And then her next album wasn't on Uptown; it was on MCA. She got folded in MCA. Share My World is on MCA directly.
So Puffy was the producer on the first album too. On What's the 411?
Mm-hmm.
And what about the Jodeci
album? Allegedly, I want to say allegedly. I want to put in allegedly.
What about the first Jodeci, the Forever My Lady?
No, that's all Devontae.
Yeah. What's the 411 is Uptown and MCA.
Oh.
After signing a recording contract with Uptown, she began working with producers Sean Puffy Combs, other producers and songwriters Devontae, Dave Hall, Mark Morales, Corey Rooney, blah 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 blah. Yeah. After being signed to Uptown, Blige began working with record producer Puff Daddy. He became the executive producer and produced a majority of the album, allegedly.
Allegedly. He's a curator. I'm not taking away his ability to curate shit, but the idea he was sitting in there doing these beats and writing these lyrics is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you know what? He realized as we wrap up here, there's gotta be. Did he realize something between the first Mary and this album? Because the first album he didn't get writing credit; he was only production credit. Somewhere somebody told him, "Hey man, you might need a double dip. You need to go ahead and go in them rooms, like Scott said, and bring the Chinese food and get you a writing credit too on all the songs that is involved around."
He has some writing credits, but not nearly like it is on My Life.
My Life.
He made for it to literally say that she wrote helped write 14 of the songs on there, which why it was so introspective. But then for his name to be listed so much on there, and it's like, okay, there's no way.
Yeah, you think he was like Babyface or something.
My Life was an introspective song for her.
Yeah.
How is Diddy even? You got a writing credit.
And again, it's that whole it's so crazy to say it's not hard to get a writing credit, because what if you wrote it? What if I proofread it?
Okay.
Right?
Yep,
So I proofread it and I'm like, you know what? This sounds, say it this way, or this would be a better thing like that. So if you write it and I proofread it, do I get a writing credit? Because
that's what Beyonce do.
Ain't that what Beyonce do?
I mean,
oh man.
The comments have been disabled. I'm not doing this with y'all. Like, you're not gonna have coming after me. Comments have been disabled.
Stacey, where can people hit you up at?
You can't. Nobody from the Hive can find me. I tell you that.
Not no more. Nobody giving out their
listen, I wish one of you worker bees would come and try to bother me. Leave me the hell alone. I ain't say nothing about her.
I ain't saying nothing bad about me. I love you.
You can find me at Stacey Adams on the Instagram and maybe on Threads or something. I don't know. I'm trying to find a new home. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Okay, like I was on the TikTok and I'd actually already deactivated my TikTok, and then I had to go back and try to I don't know where to go. But just go to any social media site and type in Stacey Adams, and I probably have an account there because I have to always go and I make sure that I get my username. So I might be on. I think I'm on Spill. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Threads. I'm on.
What's the one Isaac Hayes the third has going on?
Fan base, and I haven't joined that yet. We'll see what happens. I probably will. I need to secure my name. Blue Sky. I'm not getting on with whatever the red note is. That's the
other version of TikTok.
The fucking red note is fucking in Mandarin. The damn default language is Mandarin. And the Chinese people are treating us like we're the refugees. And they're like, we heard you didn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, because I deleted my Twitter like a year or two ago because I wasn't on there for real.
I still have my Twitter account, but I don't use it. Like I have Twitter because I have a private smut account. I like to look at smut.
The Twitter X.
I mean, that's it. I mean, it's a private account. Nobody knows I have it. I look at smut. And the thing is, in Texas, we don't have Pornhub. So,
that's right.
And in Florida, they took it too, didn't they?
Yeah, Florida.
We lost Pornhub a while ago, but I wasn't really worried because I had.
If you go to Pornhub in Texas, what is it? Does it just say it's blocked? Like what is like the? Wait, you don't have to.
No, I mean, it's my.
I'm
not on my work computer. I'm fine. Like I can.
If you want to see some ass and titties.
It actually like it gives you there's a warning so dear user actually. So it says, dear user, as you may know, your elected officials in Texas are requiring us to verify your age before allowing you to access our website. Not only does this impinge on your rights of adults to access protected speech, it fails strict scrutiny by employing the least effective and yet almost most restrictive means of accomplishing Texas's stated purpose of allegedly protecting minors. Blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, Texas law for age verification is ineffective, haphazard, and dangerous. Blah, blah, blah. You don't get porn.
Basically. Okay.
Yeah. So that's that. Wait a minute, not Pornhub apparel. Not they got clothes. Yeah, not y'all got merch.
Yeah, because they give it out to people when they get the certain verification statuses, I believe.
But I didn't know that it was like that I could buy it. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen shirts. Well, I just figured like you had to be whatever. So yeah, no Pornhub for the Texans. And then, but some people back then, because they wanted their porn so much, they got VPN so that they could access it. Now with TikTok, people are trying to figure out a VPN does what now? No. And I'm sure, like even with that, I still like let it go. Like just move forward. Like just don't. I'm not fighting for porn.
Yeah, it's not that serious. No.
I'm not fighting for porn. I got my smut Twitter account.
And it's enough on Twitter.
Yeah.
There is enough on Twitter you'll be fine.
Scott, where can they hit you up at?
Guys, hit me up everywhere. Cool ass Scott. I'm trying to find I'm everywhere too, but I ain't on Twitter, so yeah, just look up Cool Ass Scott.
We don't know where the hell to go.
Yeah, I got Threads, I got Instagram. Yeah. I guess what you say, fan base?
Yeah, fan base is out there. Blue Sky. Blue Sky might actually.
I think of that restoration company.
Oh, Reddit. I mean, I'm not like. Well, actually, am I on Reddit? I am on Reddit, but I'm not under Stacey Adams on Reddit. The hell is my name on Reddit? Oh, my name on Reddit actually is comments are disabled. But I don't do anything. Like I'm usually like looking at something or reading about a topic, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing on TikTok. I'm just looking at videos. Doing dances.
Right. What y'all can do is y'all can go to you can go to my page on Instagram, or you can go to the I Only Listen to 90s Music Instagram, and y'all can watch my New Year's resolution video because I worked really hard on that, and y'all paid that bitch dust, and I don't like it.
And look, the thing is though, TikTok blocked it or whatever too. Even if I took the music out.
It makes sense. Like I can see it. Like I mean, well, hell, and then we lost TikTok 2 days later in damn way. So
I'll go back up on TikTok and see. Maybe it's with the new rebrand.
But like I said, it's on the YouTube. It's on our pages. Go watch my video and go like it or something. Shit, like I usually don't pay attention to views or anything like that.
Like, you worked hard on that one. Like you
this one, like I feel away. Like I feel like, oh really, y'all okay? Y'all show right. Now you show right. Remember that. Remember that.
Well, thank y'all for listening as always. We will be back. Peace.